362. Just a couple of things real quick before I begin this. If you are a complete hardcore ESO fanboy and find this commentary a bit insultive to your nature, best advice to leave the channel. And those who are in the process of or want to know a little bit more about ESL fishing, I'm going to be perfectly honest. I'm gonna go down something here that is basically going to be the truth about what has happened in ESL and why a majority of people don't bother with the Master Fisher, the Master Angler achievement. So, where to begin on this is kind of interesting. I've never done anything about the fishing lore, so I'm going to be perfectly honest here. So, I guess I might want to start tearing down the how I feel about the fishing and where I think that I'm not going to say ESO could have done better with the fishing. I think there's some things I do want to address, and I'm hoping that once the Gold Road DLC comes out that they kind of fix some things rather than trying to say, yeah, we're going to put it off till the DLC. Oh, and real quick, the DLC is dropping on the 18th. So, of course, PC users already got it early. So, which means that if you're on console, you will expect to see it drop on the 15th. Okay. So, let's get down to nitty-gritty of what I'm talking about today. Anyways, I've been in Shadowfen now on day number 2, and what I'm finding very disheartening, I'm going to go to some areas today in Shadowfen. See, this is like basically I have to complete this zone and I got 2 more zones, okay, to get the Master Angler. As you saw far right now, I'm going to go to my journal. So right now for my exploration, I have, well, for total achievement points, down below is 28,550, but in hand, I'm at 4020 in the main exploration point here. So, you're looking at all this, right? Now you're wondering, okay, how do you do it? Okay. Now if you look, this is so far what I've done in fishing. Now, the truth of the matter is, majority of the fishing was going smoothly up to when you get to Shadowfen. Now, the thing I'm going to indicate here, now if you look, we're in the process right now of getting the Spark Tadpole. So far I've gotten the majority of them. I'm down to 4 left. So basically I've been focusing on each individual section of Shadowfen here. The one thing I'm going to say, the one that is becoming a problem, now you think this is easy said than done, and the issue I have here with Shadowfen is there's not a lot of fishing spots, and when I think about that, it's like you have to do a lot of traveling, a lot of Way Shrine. You can use your mount to get there, you could travel to Way Shrine, get to these locations. The problem is the locations, when they indicate these spots here, the fish, I think what I'm trying to get at here, what really does piss me off, is how ESO skimps on these fishing spots. And I'm not trying to be, anything but. And to make a story short here, there is the spots, basically they disappear after a certain point in time. You use the proper bait, whatever, and when they disappear, there's, again, in Shadowfen, for some odd reason, there's not a lot of fishing spots, and I think that's kind of like why I'm a little, I guess you could say I'm a little annoyed about it, because when you're trying to do fishing, doesn't matter if it's a shadow fen or rift, which everybody calls the rift, is basically a garbage heap. So I'm not gonna bitch about the rift, because you know what, the rift, to be truth and honest, those who've been in the rift, they know that the rift is kind of like the ESO dumpster pot of everything in the game. And and rightly so. Sorry. So of course, you know, they have the thieves stuff here. So if you're, as I'm going into this little river area, so far I have not seen another fishing hall. I think too is they tell you need to get these spots to fish. Even in the background, it'll look like you're gonna fish for areas. But as I'm going into the river area, I mean, you see a fishing spot over there, and the locations of these fishing spots are kind of annoying, where you have to try to, basically when you go to the locations, you gotta see where they are or try to find them. And the biggest gripe I got about this is that even if you use your proper or exact bait, see, I've done fishing, I've been playing this game for about, I shouldn't say about, but I've been playing this game for 10 years. Now, and some of you who've had played for over 10 years, you know, I have my crafting tree up, you know, and I'll show you what I've been using for the craft tree real quick. So if I go to my champion points, so when you do your fishing, it's always important to up your reel technique, which will decrease the time it takes for a fish to bite by 25%. And also insert this into which angler's instincts, which is increase your chance of catching higher quality fish akin to fish with other player. This effect can stack with other similar bonuses. So even like I only have this in just in case if I have a group member. About a day or two ago, I was with a guild member of mine. I was helping them fish, so I actually kept that in, and I keep it in for a reason. Now, even though like you could use the fish soup to help, I mean, even like normal food too can actually help. So basically, you could use the fish soup or the Emperor's meal as well. What I'm trying to say is that the majority of ESO or the lakes in some locations or some locations of the map, the lakes, the little fishing spots disappear. And as you can tell, I'm fishing right now. What I'm trying to do is I'm trying to get a, if I go into my journal real quick after this fish. So, let me go in my journal. So the fish I need for here are going to be the shark tadpole for river, the baga for river, and the hardy head for river. Now, the problem I'm having with fowl is I can't pronounce it, but you can see where it says in fowl, it's the last one. It's a Seolanketh. I don't know how you pronounce it, but maybe I'm pronouncing it wrong. But that's the one I've been trying to get for the entire duration yesterday, and I feel that with this whole RNG system in place, I've heard friends of mine say that they've done fishing, and I've heard people say they tried it, and the result was different. Some said it was kind of worth it to get the Master Angler. Others basically said it's not worth it because the truth of the matter is it's too much RNG. I mean, I've been mostly getting furniture from doing fishing. And as you can tell, I'm just getting like the common fish. The other thing too is also what I find a little bit kind of stupid is you get the wet gunny sacks, which you also get. So basically what they're doing is they're giving you pointless things. I mean, the furnishing is pretty cool because it's free furnishing, which I won't knock. But when you're fishing in zones, you think that the fish itself, you're able to get more. Like right here, I just got the hardy head, so that's 2 out of the river I have, so I need 2 more. So it's like basically 2 out of 4. And what happens when you start doing the fishing, key advice I could say is do the better, give it a shot. If you don't like doing the fishing, I don't blame you. I mean, this is kind of like one of the things that I kind of wish that there's more fishing options. Like, get rid of like your, the common and the wet gunny sacks. Get the ones that you actually need. And I'll be honest, the RNG system for fishing really does suck. It's 100%. It's a suck fest. And I've heard people, say they liked it, but not many people I know do the fishing. They just basically think that Zos had evidently did this, like, in a way of like, well, we're bored, but we want to have, again, it's the same fish. See, that's the other thing I don't like. It's like, it should have a system in place, like, if you have the fish, it should divert to another fish. Other things that I have also noticed in the game is that when they did the update, and I get we have Gold Road coming, but the thing is, when you do the updates, I think there's should be a better chance to take I should say a better chance. I think Zaz should take a whole day to actually do something with the servers and do something that's where they fix the fishing issues. Last night I got the antiquities, and the problem is that when you do, again, it's like when you do the fishing, it doesn't matter what kind of bait you have. Just the RNG system that's implemented just sucks. It just 100% sucks. Right now I am doing good. Now I have to get the shark tadpole. Now the last 2 is going to be a problem. This is where I'm stumbling. Getting the first 3 is not an issue. But when you get to your last fish, this is where it becomes a problem, and the holes disappear after the fact you fish to a certain point, like what just happened there. So, as I'm going along this whole riverbed right here in the swamplands, there's really no way of telling. Again, like here I lucked out because there's one here. So I could fish here, but the foul fishing holes, those are the ones that basically don't last long. And what pisses me off, I forgot to mention, is if you get only 2 fish out of it and the fishing hole disappears, there's a problem. And how I feel about it is that if this is how like Zos wants people to like do the life skills in this game, it's pretty shitty. I mean, I'm not saying like, it's a bad thing, but I think they should make the life skills a bit better. And, make it more enjoyable for people who are trying to get the Master Angler. And I think the other thing that needs to happen is another thing I'll touch up on another topic later is about the Emperor ship in Cyrodiil, but I'm not going to talk about that today. Again, this is kind of like why they don't. Again, I think Zos should really take time to refix these fishing holes where the timer, where I'm trying to say it's not time gated, where you have to wait. I mean, again, the wet gunny sacks, they're kind of pointless in here. And that's the thing I don't like, because the wet gunny sacks, you can get, like, crafting shit. But the thing is, in all fairness, they gotta change up something in the fishing system. And still people bitching about getting booted off the server. Shit's been flickering. Again, no fish came out of there. It just disappeared after about what, 6 reels of fishing. So again, that they need to kind of tone down is this stuff here that boils in the water, which is the alchemy stuff. And as you can tell, I'm going further in. Now, if I keep going inwards more into this whole river, now this will take you all the way to where the slaughterfish are at the very end of the map. Keep in mind, do not swim in the area where the slaughterfish are, because that just is asking for trouble. Again, I'm going up and down this river to see if I can find any more. I doubt I'm going to be able to find another fishing hole. Again, like I said before, these, the fishing spots are too skimp. Basically, there's way too much. Again, we got like this guy right here who's fishing. And, well, we can try it, but again, it's not going to work. Especially 2 fish that you need. At times, like, sometimes I don't mind fishing in the same spot with the other person. But, oh, and that fucking thing just popped up. I do need to make room in here. This is the thing I don't like.
We could have sold that, you know.
I could have sold it, but it's not like, well, I know he disapproved that one, but you know what? I don't care. So, I got a negative, but I was in good standing anyways with Sharp, so I'm not really concerned about it. Now that I have that one in the journal, now here I have to go back to find the foul, which I personally am not going to like doing. So, technically the foul stuff is going to be more on this map. And it is normally within this area here. So even if I go here, there's going to be an area to go. So the best thing to do is actually just go on your mount to get there. At this point, I'm just going to travel through my mount. And so as I'm traveling here, going through this mumbo jumbo, sometimes there is a foul here if you look real quick. But again, it's a fish. It's a lake, which I already have. And now when I get to a point, when I get to the location, it's over here. Again, this is kind of like what I don't like. So I'm going to have to take a road over. I'm just going to go here. Go follow this road over. And it's like we have to go around, but the only thing that's closer is just a way shrine here. So I'm just going to do this. Cut through the middleman, supposedly. And just kind of want to show exactly how bad this one is. Real quick, so I'm going to go here. We're going to go up to where this giant tree is. Actually, we got to go past where the giant tree is.
You hear that? It's like whispering, or I don't know. I've never heard anything like it. It's probably just my imagination.
Okay, this is the hist area, which I kind of don't want to be here. So, we're going to kind of... we're going to try to get past this area if I can. So I got these dumb motherfuckers attacking me. Okay, so it seems like I'm gonna have to go around the Hist area. If I can do that, well, you know. Again, this is kind of like an implementation of why Zos is kind of like screwed themselves over 9 Ways to Sunday. If I can get there. This is kind of like one of those things you wish you didn't have to do. And... okay, so we are here. I just gotta get rid of these idiots. Or maybe not. So, here we are in the Hist area, which is kind of bizarre. So now it's saying that there's a foul water over here. And what's funny is they implement that. They say these fishing spots are supposed to be over here, and I'm not seeing a damn thing. Again, there's no way you can tell that there's a fishing spot here. And this is kind of like why I wish there was more fishing spots in this area. But here they have one, which I'm kind of curious if this is going to be the one I think I need. If it isn't, then Zos really needs to update their, they need to update the whole fishing thing. So, I'm going to show you what happens. Getting this one's not easy, and it's a real pain in the ass. So, if I get it during this stream, maybe. If not, then I will just tell them, hey, look, you know, you got a broken system. Because you cannot do this fishing thing and not expect anybody to get this one fish that you need. Again, see, like the furnishings, I got plenty of those, and along a few other things like seashells and furnishings. Again, slaughterfish, which is good for provisioning, but not relevant to what I'm looking for. Excuse me. Allergy still, but... the other thing is I'm going to point out, if I can get it. See, it's the same thing I've already got before, the pricklefish, which that should not be what I should get. I mean, if you already got it, it shouldn't pop up that way. It should say you already have it, and then you get another one. Or it just converts over to the fish you actually need, which I think might be an easier way to do that. It saves a lot of aggravation. Again, the slaughterfish. And this is kind of like what pisses me off about the whole game. You know, and this is why people don't bother with the fishing, because this is way too much RNG. I mean, again, that's irrelevant. I mean, they're just giving me stuff I already have. And I'm showing you by proof that, you know, I've seen YouTubers bitch about this, but not do anything about it or show it. Again, it's another slaughterfish, another irrelevancy that doesn't belong. This is like stuff that Zos needs to really work on these fishing spots a bit better. It's too RNG heavy. It's just a lot of things that you cannot... I mean, look at it. I'm getting more of these common, irrelevant fish, and my provision's already maxed out. So, the fuck am I going to do with them? So, basically, this is kind of like how Zos wants you to do these fishing things, which is like, oh, look, I gotta do fishing, but to get Master Angler, I gotta do all the zones, and what have you. So, just to let you guys know exactly what's going on, if you're planning on doing the fishing, or you're doing the fishing, this shit's not even worth the time. I think they could have implemented something way better than this. I mean, this is kind of like watching paint dry, basically. And it's really sad because if Zos cannot... See, I think Zos really needs to work on this, you know, fixing this shit. I mean, again, this zone is kind of for the birds. At first I thought this was going to be easy enough to get this fish, but apparently it's not. And again, I mean, you get like a decent amount of fishing in here, but you still don't get it, and the RNG is way too stupid. So we're just gonna see what happens. Again, it's a prickle fish, which is irrelevant. I don't need. See, it's the same irrelevancy that comes up. You already got that fish, but you cannot get that one that you need just to finish this zone. I mean, I love fishing like the next person, but I think that, if Zos is gonna be watching this at some point, you guys need to fix this. This is horrendous. This is like, again, watching paint dry. I don't know how people can actually, like, say this is okay for a zone, you know, for the zone guide. And look, it just disappears because I didn't get the fish. This is the exact bullshit that I have to deal with because it's one fish. I mean, one stinking fish to get. And yet, you can't put more fishing spots in. The truth of the matter is, if you have more fishing spots, you have a higher chance of getting it. But if you're only putting one fishing spot per section, there's a problem. There is a massive problem because you just kind of fucking skimped down the player base. Oh, well, we can't put more fishing spots in because you guys are being too stingy. And that's kind of like, it gets down to it, and it really does piss me off because you're making it sound like it's okay to, like, do that, but you're implementing some really bad shit here. I mean, now I gotta go to a different location, which is a waste of gold, and even if I mount, my mount's utterly useless in this area. But basically, this is the gist of what's going on with this game. I mean, aside of the fact that we got players quitting ESO because the game just basically has not much to offer. And also, there are people who are just like a little upset because the gold world hasn't dropped. That's another thing. I mean, I get like PC players get the game before, you know, beforehand, before console, but you should release it the same day because both of them can get the same time. It shouldn't have to be like waiting 15 days after for like PC to get theirs. That doesn't that's not making it as a 10-year thing. I mean, I've been patient with PC since then. You know, not PC. I've been patient on console since then. I've been playing this game for 10 years. It just gets to the point, like, just, if you're going to do something nice for 10 years, do something on both, whether if it's on console or even on PC, because this is where the retention problem in its own comes in. And not everybody will actually have the patience to wait for the game for the new update. So the truth of the matter is, what I'm getting at here, I mean, ESO's on 10 years. But again, you're gonna be, you know, if you don't have the retention excuse me, but if you don't have the retention, it's just that you don't want to damn. Again, we're going to travel back to the other, another spot. Let me see if I can find it. There's only like small locations for where you need to go. The one that looks like dinosaur, huh? Okay, so there's one there. Alright, so I'm going back to this location like last night I was here. But again, I'm gonna show you exactly how I mean by, like, this is really shitty. This is like, again, I'm not gonna reiterate very much longer on this stream, but it is a really shitty thing to do. Was here last night, and this is kind of like where I get a little bit annoyed with how Zas, again, screws over its player base in a sense. It's like, you're not making this game that much more enjoyable because you're not getting the fishing holes where they should be. Again, this is complete utter bullshit. Like, right now, there's one here. So, again, would I be able to get the fish? I highly doubt it because they can't give you any more chances to get the damn thing.
I say anything smells bad if you leave it out.
So let's hopefully see if this works. I don't like being a Debbie Downer, but, you know, I want to just make sure I get it before I end this stream. If not, then I know there's something wrong with the game. Irrelevancy yet again. See, there's no need for any of that shit. You should just get the fish regardless. And the hole should still be there. That's kind of like what I'm getting at here. You know, you kind of figure that these motherfuckers would actually give you something better to do. But I digress. See, another pointless thing. They keep giving you wet gunny sacks. What the fuck am I gonna do with them? I mean, they got all fucking shit. I have enough fucking other stuff that I don't even need. No. I think that's kind of like what happens. I actually destroyed something. You know what? Let me go into my supplies. You know, this is kind of like why. I mean, I got all this shit. Why are they giving me all this crap that I don't need? And why do you have to have a countdown for this shit? Come on, it's a green item. Who the fuck cares if it's a fucking thing, you know? I mean, all the way down to the fucking list. I mean, come on. I got pointless. Well, I got some stuff that's kind of okay to use, but I got stuff that's pointless to use. It's like, you know, and I'm gonna pop out my fucking merchant because this game they can't fucking give you what you need. It's like, okay, so why am I bothering? Oh yes, another wet gunny sack. Oh, just what I wanted. Really, Zas? You're wasting my time like this. It's like, you motherfuckers should put more fishing holes in. And this is why people don't do the fishing. I mean, there's people that fucking cringe on it. No wonder why you go to a trader, like a guild trader, and it's like, you can't find bait for anything. You can't find bait because people don't fish. People... Again? Really? Another irrelevancy that's kind of not, like, what it should be? I mean, what the fuck is this shit? Wow. Seriously, this is some bullshit. I'm gonna be here all day yet again because they can't give me what I'm looking for in this fucking area. This is the exact shit I wanted to show you guys exactly how bad this is. I've never seen such horrible RNG in Shadowfen before, but this really tops everything. Holy God. I mean, I'm just looking at the shitty excuse for RNG. This is by far the worst fishing I've ever done, and the others were easier to get. It's gonna take me about 1,000 tries before I can get the damn thing, and this is kind of like what pisses me off. Now I'm sitting here wasting my fucking bait because now I have to get more. I mean, all day yesterday, a little bit last night, basically all day, 12 hours sitting here trying to find this one damn fish. Yo, Zas, what the fuck were you guys thinking about adding all this crap? This fucking, oh, we're just gonna have all this stuff kind of disappear after a short time, but it's like, you shouldn't do that. This is why people are irritated with the game. Yo. Okay, so you guys know exactly now, you see the truth of what's going on here. This is kind of like the lackluster, the RNG, the bullshit that anybody who's trying to get the Master Angler do not get it. Okay? I'm gonna be 100% honest. I'm too lost for words. Anyways, if you guys like the stream, please don't forget to like and subscribe. Hit that notification button. If not, I'm coming to your door and I'm gonna hit you with a baseball bat. No, I'm just kidding. I'm kidding. Don't get your panties up in a bunch. So anyways, that's basically it. So, till then, Michelle362 signing off, and I think I'm gonna do the same thing with this stupid ass game too, because this is really pissing me off. But anyways, till then, peace, love, happiness. Catch you guys in the next.